You might know the story of Ted Kaczynski. Harvard-trained math genius, drops out of society, builds a cabin, then goes on a bombing rampage that lasts 17 years.
The most elusive terrorist bomber in U.S. history.
They call him the Unabomber.
A series of letter bomb attacks at universities.
3 have been killed and 23 injured.
He mailed bombs to scientists, placed them in the parking lots of computer stores, killed an advertising executive and a logging industry lobbyist.
We don't know what his motivation is. We don't know what his demands are.
Eventually, he made his demands clear. He had written a 35,000-word manifesto, and he would continue his terrorism campaign unless the biggest newspapers in the country agreed to publish it.
I mean, blackmail is minor compared to what the Unabomber was saying. The Unabomber was going to kill people.
So the newspapers published it, and millions of people read the Unabomber's litany of grievances and his dire warnings of a dystopian future. And not long after, Ted Kaczynski was arrested, and even more millions saw the mugshot of this small, unkempt woodsman staring blankly into the camera. But who is this guy really? How did his ideas, his frustrations, his life come to this? And why did it take nearly 2 decades to catch him? The answers to these questions were stranger and messier than I'd expected. And the more I dug, the more I realized how much of it had been untold.
I finally said to the ATF agents, look, if we wanted to kill people, there would be much better ways to do it than a matchstick bomb. And of course, that perked them up.
I said, no. Man has killed people. He's still out there, and I'm not going to close it.
I tried to live in a tent and found out that the desert was too windy to accommodate that. So I ended up kind of digging a hole in the ground and living underground.
He said, do you still think I'm the Unabomber? And I said, it doesn't matter what I think. You know you are. I said, you know you're connected.
The full story? It's the story of a manhunt, but it's also an unimaginable family drama and a window into the psyche of a brilliant, tormented man who was raging against our modern world in ways that seem familiar.
We've all noticed that there are ways in which computers maybe dehumanize us or seem to make our lives drier.
His cabin became an echo chamber for this spiraling into negativity.
He tried to talk to this woman, and he said, I came back and sat around my fire and just sobbed because I couldn't get up the gumption to even speak to her. She's like an alien to him.
And all of that is what was festering more and more inside a 10 by 12 foot cabin deep in the Montana woods.
I should have been more attuned to the fact that he was really deeply, deeply struggling.
I'm Eric Benson, and coming soon, it's Project Unabomb, a new Apple original podcast produced by Pineapple Street Studios. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen.